And now we got ourselves the Game 5, the ace match. Except for the people who are really, I guess, anal about calling it an ace match when it's not a team game. I know you guys. I see you out there. Top right, we have ZEST. Bottom left, it is BYUN. And Glittering Ashes as the last map. So back-to-back on the really large maps. This one largest, I believe, as far as like left or right actual dimensions. Pride, I think, a little bit longer on the rush distance. But rush distances, if you ever look them up, is from the main base to the main base. Top of the ramp, top of the ramp. So a lot of maps can change drastically as far as becoming kind of a short or long map, depending on how someone expands or how your opponent expands. So, you know, TVZ, usually Zergs want to expand away from the Terran tries to expand towards them to shorten the rush distance. You know, it is. And I think that also kind of impacted the last game, where ZEST's base is a little bit closer where it was. I'm actually not sure. I've never tested the amount of time it takes from BYUN to go from, say, his natural to ZEST's third, or what would have been also his fourth. Maybe I should. Anyway. ZEST goes for a front wall off, which, quite personal. I don't think it's necessarily map specific. You can do this on most maps. Any maps, really. There's no dataless point nowadays. Somewhere out there, some fan from 2015 is going, woo, dataless. Took 3 Nexus to wall off dataless. For the people who don't know what I'm talking about. They patched it, so it only took 2 Nexus, but still. So it was a big one. But it's entirely like up to the Protoss. There's like downsides and upsides, right? Very obvious upside. There was a little while there where a lot of Protoss players were going for forward gateways to get the Adept across the map sooner. So they're also going for like earlier gateway, forward, and they were piling on the pressure. That was on the map pool, I think, that had the map Ephemeron, if I remember correctly. That was kind of the meta at that point. Now that's really not done as much, but I actually think ZEST is kind of doing it here. Because one, he chronoed the first unit, fine, like, that's what Protoss do. Chrono's the second unit, and his first unit is a Stalker. That's very specific. 9 times out of 10, a Protoss's first unit is going to be an Adept. And then he's a little supply block because of the Nexus timing, but there you go. So that's why I'm thinking that he actually is using this kind of 2 to 3 second advantage of not having the gateway in the main. It's because he got a Stalker specifically. So the Stalker outranges a lot of things. Well, not maybe a lot of things, but outranges most of what BYUN has here, which is Marines. The Hellion could have tried to support, but it's really not worth it. If they're going to have a Stalker out this fast on your front lines, they're going to follow it up with something else. So best case scenario, the Hellion can do a little bit of scouting, and then you just hole up in your main base, because at the very least, even if this was a proxy gateway as well, you're probably not going to lose your command center. It's too healthy. It's too chunky. What you are going to lose is maybe SCV mining time or production. I'm checking BYUN's vision. Yeah, BYUN had no idea what this was. So it is very awkward for him, but also ZEST probably kind of feels validated. He's like, yeah, serves you right for not getting a bunker, you doofus. And while maybe the Stalker timing still would have hit slightly before the bunker was done, it still is it's generally agreed to be a greedy thing from Terran to not get bunkers, especially on a map that has no natural ramp. The only good thing about this map to not get a bunker is that it's a bit longer, but that's still, yeah, I'd say most people would say, yeah. Good on you, ZEST. Punish that Terran player. It is a blink build from ZEST, 3rd Nexus off the 2 gateway. Oh, 1 gateway, actually. Oh, hoo, hoo. So a bit greedy here from ZEST. Oh, no. Why would you attack that? Why would you ever? Oh, oh, they definitely didn't have to die. Ooh, but blink finished. Almost baited the medevac into dying. That almost turned around. As it is, medevac lives with 1 Widow Mine that still was effectively... It was very little damage. The Adept dying sucks, but oh well. It's very little damage done. And Zest's got his own little damage done with this little forward pressure. So I think the Twilight Council gets delayed a little bit when you do the opening that he did, but I'm talking like 1 or 2 seconds. And then it's almost always, that's like basically made up for with the fact that it was a 1-gate third nexus, not even a 2-gate third nexus, which is usually what you see. Usually. Holy shit, this is a big supply block. Okay, there we go. Usually, if you're seeing Twilight Council, it's going to be basically 2, 3, or 4 gateways. The 4 gateways is obviously a 2-base attack, but he was just a little bit greedier. Well, Zest is all over this, apparently. He's going to lose 1 probe. The heroic probe tanked the damage. The auto turret didn't kill any stalkers. And once again, I'm getting kind of the same feelings as the first game, which is that, to me, I see this game play out in my mind, and if everything goes well enough from here on out, Zest wins. He's playing such a clean game. But BYUN has not played a poor game at all, so it's not like it is actually over. It's just that Zest is playing quite wonderfully. He's getting away with everything he's chosen and got away with. So charge with the finish, the gateways are going to finish, and BYUN's attempt at pushing slightly before Medivacs, no, way before Medivacs actually, BYUN's attempt to do an off timing is probably going to backfire. 6 probes did just go down, however, so the Medivac finally found its purpose. Oh, actually, this is so, okay, hold on here, this is so awkward. So 7 gateways have finished with blink and charge. Oh, no, it is. It is still gonna... Okay, yep. It is still gonna... BYUN's about to be slapped here. BYUN's about to be slapped. I thought it was gonna get a little awkward because the stalkers had run by, but it just turns into a big old surround. Immortal does get targeted down. It's one of the bigger targets to hit, guess, but that was a complete cleanup. BYUN was even making the mistake of trying to rally right now. BYUN has 27 army supply. What exactly is that? It's a handful of Marauders and Widow Mines, and Zest has 7 gateways, a Warp Prism, and is coming for him. 9 gateways, sorry, 2 more just finished. So no Forge, right? Not a whole lot of probes for 3 bases. Only just now getting all of his gases. There were things that he sacrificed to do this, but BYUN didn't have any idea that it was the plan. He fell right into Zest's hands. And unfortunately, BYUN is now probably just straight up dead because his 3rd nexus couldn't be saved. 3rd command center, sorry. If his 3rd had finished and he lifts it and he saves it, I'd still say that Zest has to do more damage and has to worry about transitioning. But the fact that BYUN has to entirely restart a 3rd CC is truly a hurdle to overcome. Okay, well, Zest doesn't pay attention for about half a second, so his 2 sentries die. Oh, the fireworks! That was a lot of zealots, to be fair. Zest was probably looking for an opportunity to use that many zealots, but the Widow Mines did their duty, at least for the first round. Problem is, 2nd round is already on your doorstep, and Zest is out for blood. He's looking to end this best of 5 with his victories, jumping on top of the bunkers, taking care of the SCVs, and all he really needs is possibly another warp in to take care of this. That is a lot of Marauders left over, but we even have an Immortal kind of being the backbone, or maybe not. No save for the Warp Prism. That Immortal would have gotten all the beautiful shots. There was, at a point, nothing but Marauders left over. It would have been shutting them down so easily. But BYUN does manage to hold yet again. But he loses 14 SCVs in the process, and Zest has been kind of underway in his transition. Not completely. His +1 is about halfway done, and his Templar Archives only just started, so he was focusing primarily on the attack, trying to win the game. But Zest still has a very good position. We'll see if BYUN can find the appropriate, I guess, avenues of making the comeback happen. I don't think it would be the most amazing comeback ever. BYUN did not go back down to 12 SCVs, but he still is in a potentially tricky position. He's got to make the right moves, the right calls, drop when he can, defend when he must. And unfortunately, this drop just flew over an observer. Oh, no! Oh, at least he notices and gets the unload, but oh, it's still terrible. It's so terrible. Only 1 Widow Mine hits the Warp Prism. It's still alive. BYUN does manage to save the third of the drop, I guess. So it's way better than I thought it was going to be, but that observer was actually almost the knife in BYUN's heart. Not quite, though. ZEST's coming in here with Storm ready to go. ZEST usually has very good Warp Prism Storm micro, but now his Warp Prism's injured, it'd be a little questionable if he tries to do that. It's also not strictly necessary. There are no EMPs. He could just come in here. Not quite a move, but kind of close. With so many storms, one or two are bound to hit. BYUN is trying his best to out micro storms, and we're talking about the professionals. There is a little bit of that possible, but enough? Oh, that was a pretty good one. That was a pretty good one. A little bit of a choke for the Terran bio to work with, but not enough. There are so many Stalkers coming through here. Archons combining as well. Immortals coming in from across town. And there you have it. A blink to fully surround the bio. That is confidence right there. And ZEST takes the series 3-2. And I think this meant that he moved on to the championship, by the way, which I might get around to casting later. I think that was a best of 7. But for now, that is ZEST versus BYUN. Best of 5. And ZEST takes the victory. 3-2. Still overall a close match, but ZEST looking about as in form as I expected. So thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you for the next cast.